Alright, inmendham video. Should be a little brief, let's hope. Let's hope. So the Modern Mystic has made a video on a general economic subject, and it really has to do with this idea of having a whatever it's called, a instant income kind of thing, where you give everybody a certain amount of money, and if they want to live on that minimum, they can. You know, minimum income kind of nonsense. And I would argue that, yes, from my perspective, I would love it, you know, because yes, it's just kind of like money to goof off kind of thing. If you're all right just living meagerly and simply, you win. But it's just stupid in the sense that it just breaks incentives. Nobody likes going to work. Nobody likes having to earn their existence and all that kind of crap. And being productive is work usually. Now the rich, they have all kind of fun jobs. You know, they're just playing with money. It's fun, fun, fun. And there's lots of people making good livings doing work they really love doing. You know, like they're passionate about like physics or something, and they get to do physics all day. You know, there's good jobs out there, but it's just very few of them. And most of the people who are productive in the world, like all those Chinese people doing the same job every day, the monotonous, tedious, horrible, they're the ones who are the productive people. The people who are like walking on high tension electrical lines and stuff can't be really a lot of fun. You know, a lot of fun anyway. With lots of shitty jobs. You could just say plumbers, you know, having to deal with, you know, poo clogged pipes and stuff. It's no fun having to do that every day. And nobody will do anything if you don't give them incentives to do it. And the incentives are usually kind of whippish. You know, there's got to be a whip somewhere. And so this idea of an instant income just basically says it's okay to create a bunch of people who won't do anything productive for their entire lives and just consume resources. And the working people should pay for their life, like their children or something. Like the people going to work have their own kids, they should be paying for somebody else's kids. That's really stupid. So it can't work for that reason, in my opinion. You always have to give a copay. There always has to be some kind of, you know, I can see subsidizing people's wages, I can see lots of things, but, you know, incentivizing playing video games and eating potato chips, that's just stupid. But anyway, the bigger subject, in my opinion, of the video is this idea of finance, as the mystic puts it, and how you would finance such a thing. And he thinks there's two different choices of finance. One is fool them with complete bullshit, or the second one is fool them with complete bullshit. They really aren't. They're not two different choices. There's no pay-as-you-go method of welfare. There just isn't. Welfare never pays for itself, so somebody always has to pay for it. It's just stupid to think any other way. So there is only one way, and that is to tax somebody else and oblige them to pay for it. And any other method of taxing, like issuing bonds, is the same thing as taxing. There's no real difference, and I'll explain the distinction. So in this video, he throws his hat down and makes this statement: there's no such thing as money again. So I'll play that part, but there is. Cash is money. Cash is tied to value, and you can point to every country that ever had hyperinflation. So you can go back to Germany in 1923 or whatever, and you go to Venezuela, and you go to Argentina in some year, and you go to every single country that ever went bankrupt because of hyperinflation. You go to Japan, and why is the yen only worth 1/1,000,000th of what it was 50 or 70 years ago? Oh, well, that's because they printed it. It's because their economy was so bad that they couldn't finance their economy, so they had to just print cash, the government, to pay people to do stuff. And they put extra cash into the economy and ever created hyperinflation, and the value of a dollar went down, kind of the yen or whatever it is. So you don't have hyperinflation till you actually start printing the cash. And so they keep pretending cash isn't a real thing or a real difference. Now, if I put a dollar bill in your hand and I put a stock in your hand, you're going to know the difference. You're going to know the dollar bill there's only a certain number of them, and that they can quite reliably be exchanged with the government for real goods. The government has $1.8 trillion worth of assets, and you can get your dollar's worth quite easily. Now, the stock is just, you know, crap. And you can know on its face, yes, it's still worth money if the company's still doing good business. But if the company is not doing good business, then it can lose half its value, and then it can lose 90% of its value. It can lose, 900% of its value, and it can turn to rubbish. And a bond isn't much better, in the sense that a bond is just an IOU based on some idea that someday you'll be able to pay it off, like a mortgage or something. And obviously the government has this huge mortgage, in the sense that it has, let's say, $20 trillion mortgage it's got. And there's people who have the delusion that somehow it could ever pay off a $20 trillion mortgage, when there's no evidence it's even ever paid off any of the principal. So it hasn't paid any principal on the debt in at least 50 years, any significant principal. I mean, Clinton for a couple of months was paying off a little bit, but it just doesn't happen. So they never pay the principal of the loan. They're only paying interest. So how can they ever pay off the mortgage? It's impossible. The mortgage will never get paid off. And the mortgage is for a huge amount of assets. So when people say, like, okay, let's say you buy your house and you say you own it. Well, you really don't, because you have a government liability. So if we spread the liability over all the working people in America, the ones that have an income, let's say, the average toll for those people is like $400,000 or $500,000 to pay off the national debt. So that eats up whatever the value of your home is, right? The $500,000 you owe is the value of your home, so you're really mortgaged, even if you think you own your house. You don't really own it. And if you only own half your house, you're even in deeper shit, because clearly you don't have any equity to balance against, or much equity to balance against the $500,000 in debt you are, because of the bonds that have been issued that can't be paid. So this idea that we give this the word finance, this loany stuff, when the loany stuff is just really saying, here's some more stuff for the rich to take ownership of. So they'll hold the bonds, which are the IOUs, and the IOUs are so extensive that even when you think you own something, you don't really own it, because you're in debt somewhere else that you're not realizing. So the huge debt you have because of the government loans are one problem. Your credit card is another problem. Your mortgage is another problem. But all this debt is held by one group of people, the insanely rich. And so if I was to put it back in the lifeboat, you're in the lifeboat, and we haven't done the mistake of the crisis, in the sense that we're not in enough of a crisis yet to start printing cash. But as soon as you print cash, then the whole game is over, because then you have hyperinflation, and it kind of, you can go different ways in terms of the scenario playing out, in terms of how you deal with that, because the rich are not going to be rich anymore, and the poor are going to be really destitute, starving, because a loaf of bread will be $1 million, and they have no hope of getting $1 million. So in some sense it'll equalize out, but of course there'll be people who have sold short the economy, like the Rockefellers or the Kennedys did in the 1920s, 29, and they'll get rich selling short. So there's still going to be things called rich people. And the simple solution is just to say we're not going to play that anymore. The simple solution is just to say we're going to ignore your pretending that you own the entire planet, and we're not just going to play that silly game. We're on a lifeboat. So if you could imagine, if you're on a lifeboat and there was some rich asshole, some fat ass sitting on the bench going, I own all the water, I own the seats you're sitting on, I own all the food, I own the life jackets, I own the oars, I own the whole fucking boat. What do you do with such an asshole? You say, fuck you, you throw him overboard. Shark food. And everything's fine. Everybody's good. Everybody says, I got a seat, I'll sit in my seat, I'll only eat my portion of food, I'll only drink my portion of water. Everything's fine, no problems. So I'm just saying, the only catastrophe is this idea that somehow we're going to pretend in a crisis that these idiots are entitled to walk around going, I own, I own, I own, I own. Yeah, fuck you. You don't know. And it was stupid in any way, because most of them inherited it anyway. And so we shouldn't have been playing this stupid inherit the earth game. I mean, what fucking sense is it? If I made a movie called Inherit the Earth, You wouldn't like it. You'd think it was stupid. If a few people, 1% of an alien race, ruled over the rest of the aliens and told them what they were and what they were worth, and pull up your bootstraps and do this and this, and they just were born into this privilege, you'd think it was a stupid fucking movie. And here you are, you vote for it. You're so fucking idiotic. But anyway, so all these people who say the economy's a mess because somehow they've printed the money. They haven't printed the money. They've printed IOUs, bonds. Very different than printing cash. Once they print cash, then the game's over. Right, hyperinflation, you're done. But they haven't done that yet. And they have a decision to make in the future when the whole thing falls apart. And the simple decision is to say, slow down, okay? The rich people are going to show up and say, pay me. And we're going to say, no, you got to wait. You got to wait till the economy's better. It's healed. Maybe it'll take 10 years, maybe it'll take 20 years, but you're not getting your $1 trillion right now. And that's the simple solution. And then you talk about it a little bit and you say, well, which one of these claims these assholes have are really valuable? Which one of these people actually did cure cancer or something? If we're going to give them $1 trillion, maybe they should show some sort of human productivity somewhere, like they actually did something productive. And they still wouldn't be worth $1 trillion, so it's just bullshit anyway. So anyway, I'll play some of the mystics rubbish. So he calls this finance, and that somehow if they're going to finance whatever it's called, an unearned income, a basic unearned income, that they have to do it with finance. Like all this finance somehow has any rational thought process behind it. Obviously, we're mortgaged out of control. It's all credit card money. It's all credit card spending. You can't make any rational sense out of a credit card where you never pay off the principal. That's rubbish. And for him to talk as if that's called finance and somehow it's a rational theory and somehow it'll end in a rational end, that somehow it's something other than brick wall policy. It's brick wall policy. And then you're going to have to do this lifeboat thing. And if you don't do the lifeboat thing right, you're going to end up more owned than you were in the past, in the sense it's going to be like the Depression, where there'll be these lordy rich people and everybody else is going to be, just stealing crumbs and bread crust from each other. Fuck that. Fuck doing it the wrong way.
And they'll put the bond on their asset side. It's actually made new money. Because
so now he's just talking about the stupid charts that a bank might use and calling something an asset and a deficit in terms of borrowing and lending money. But all of that's dependent on collateral. It's all dependent on whether the thing you're taking as collateral actually has a real value or an insanely exaggerated value. So you can go into a bank with a bond, a U.S. savings bond for $1 billion, and put it on the table and say, here's my collateral. Well, that collateral is only good if you think the economy is going to stay fine and there's not going to be any crisis and no one ever has to pay that bond. But if that bond ever has to be paid, it can't be paid in dollar for dollar. It's the only way it could possibly ever be paid off is by totally inflating the value of the money and pretending that you're only paying back 1% of the bond because you've inflated the currency so badly that the bond is only worth a loaf of bread.
Then these can be put to the European Central Bank for reserves to cover paying other banks. Okay,
So he's just talking about the Ponzi scheme of creating fake notions of security, like FDIC insurance. As I pointed out, they've used FDIC insurance to fix the banking crisis. So now they've taken all this bad debt, all these bad mortgages, instead of allowing anybody to go bankrupt, any of the important people to go bankrupt. Of course, the people who lost their houses went bankrupt, but who cares about them? We're talking about the finance people. We can't let any of them go bankrupt, the people who held the bad debt. And so we've insured all of their garbage, their junk bonds, with FDIC insurance. So of course, when a crisis comes, the insurance will mean absolutely nothing, just like one European organization guaranteeing the loans of another European organization, and neither one of them has any hope of living up to the guarantee if the crisis ever happens. It's all just complete talk and bullshit. And he's talking about it as if this is a rational scheme rather than a completely irrational scheme. It's doomed to failure. It's just a matter of when, not if.
It's confusing. So you can...
No, it's retarded. It's stupid. It won't work. It has no long-term viability. It's an unsustainable debt, and it will roost. It will come home to be toxic. It will kill you in the end. It will give you cancer, and you will die.
Ask yourself, well,
I don't know why YouTube fails in such silly ways sometimes. Just everything's going just fine. Play the video, but oh no, can't play it all of a sudden. It's fucking
and
irritating.
here I'm going.
Do somewhere around here. It still won't play.
See, guaranteed this agency, then this agency got the credit rating of this agency.
Right. So he's just talking about
Promises.
one bullshit, one thing that has a good rating, saying we'll guarantee that shit over there, even though they can't even guarantee their own shit. They're mortgaged to the hilt. They got 50 million properties on mortgage. They got debt they can't sustain, and they're just going to say because they're really good borrowers, in the sense they always pay their interest payments, therefore they could take on another hunk of debt that, again, when shit hits the fan, all of their collateral is made out of stocks and bonds and bullshit that can't be paid. None of their collateral is real. None of the value they say they own is real value. It's all inflated nonsense stock value.
And guarantees, they have created something that's investment grade, and the European Central Bank, then you think, well, the European Central Bank are taking it as collateral. They now won't want the whole system to fall. So it's really well solid, but only on promises.
Yes, it's not well solid, and only in a temporary, superficial, silly way where we're all pretending our lies are the truth. And as soon as a few of those lies become real, in the sense that the bankruptcies can't be saved anymore, I mean, how much money can you throw into the Federal Reserve? I mean, $5 trillion are sitting in there now, where they're pretending it's some sort of real money, where obviously it just stays there because it can't be real money. But everybody knows it's not real money. The banks know it's not their money. They know it's fake money. How much can you shove in there? How much money can you shove into these invisible fake, mushroom or marshmallow sculptures? None of them have any reality. They have no, their value will melt and dissipate and disappear. It's none of its real value. It's just these silly claims, and they're claims owned by these silly rich people who sit there and think they own the whole world. They own the whole world 5 times over. And they think they're really going to get paid the earth 5 times over. They think they're going to show up and say, give me 3 earths worth of value. That can't happen.
And blah, blah. There's actually no more money in the system.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that. There's actually no more money in the system. Right, there's just silly promises, just IOUs written out. Gary, IOU. I hand you the Gary IOU, and you buy it for some dopey reason because you think I have something called wealth or value in my pockets, and that somehow you're going to show up and I'm going to be able to just throw a whole bunch of value into your pockets. I'm just going to give you, oh yeah, you want 1/10 of the earth? Okay, yeah, I'll just saw that off and hand it to you. Because I was pretending to own it. And all I can do is pretend to own it. I can't really do it. I can't really own anything.
This is the tricky bit, and I'll just breeze through it very quickly. It's like when you go into the bank to get a mortgage. I think you all know now that you don't get a sum of my money. The bank actually creates...
It doesn't create money. So again, as you say, the bank actually creates money. No, the bank creates a check with its bank name on it. It's not even close to being something called money. It's a bank check that says Bank of Shithead, okay? They fill out the amount of money and hand you the check. And then you go cash the check at some other bank that'll probably give you a stupid check that says Bank of Bigger Shithead. They're bank checks. They're bank notes. They're not fucking money. They're just written on whether the bank actually could ever cash the check. And that's the whole bank crisis was fixed by taking all of that. Those banks completely failed. They were bankrupt, all right? And we fixed it by insuring their bad checks and telling everybody, just cash the checks. It's okay. We'll just pretend they're all okay. They're all good checks. So their check was as bad as their junk bonds. Their check was only as good as the bonds they held and the stocks they held. They held a bunch of bad mortgages, and the government basically said, to make the bank's checks good, we'll just make these bad mortgages good. Because if we make the bad mortgages good, their bank check will be good. But neither one of them are any good.
It's extra money for you. It doesn't create money. It writes the deposit in on your side, and it writes the asset in that you're going to pay it back on the asset side of the bank. It enlarges its own balance.
It doesn't, I don't even think that's an accurate description of what a loan is, because it's not a deposit. It's obviously the bank is the one giving something that's going to be able to be claimed for value. So it's a liability first.
When it makes a loan, it enlarges its own balance sheet.
And it only enlarges its balance sheet if it can actually get the person to pay off the loan. So that's the key problem here. You make a loan that can't be paid off, you're not going to be able to, and you have no collateral, then you're fucked. And if your collateral is a house that's not even worth the value of the person that paid for it, and he didn't even pay for it, well, yeah, and you're not getting any money out of them in terms of they never paid the principal or the interest, yeah, then the bank loses money.
What happens with these new bonds from the European, investment bank? Now banks will enlarge their balance sheets just to buy them. They will put a deposit, Amazon tokens, in somebody's bank account.
Well, they don't put Amazon tokens, so I don't even know what this Amazon tokens are again. They either have cash or they don't have cash. And if they don't have cash, they have to have an asset that can be converted into cash. The point is most of their assets that can be converted into cash aren't things like houses or bricks or land or some kind of real hard asset. They're stocks and bonds. Bonds on foreign governments they'll never be able to pay off that have just been insured by some asshole who says, I'll insure that, even though I have no hope of insuring it. So it's all a bunch of crap paper. And it's absolute crap paper. And that's their collateral, crap paper. Okay, I have an IOU from Jimmy the Frog saying I'm entitled to 10% of planet Earth. Well, there's the frog, we're never going to even find the frog that guaranteed it or made the IOU, and there was no hope that the frog actually owned 10% of the Earth. So there's no fucking point.
And they will take, that's increasing it on this side, on the liability side, and they'll put the bond on their asset side. It's actually made new money, because then these can be...
Of course, it doesn't actually make new money until it collects enough interest to cover the uselessness of the thing they bought. So, yes, in principle, if you can keep the pyramid scheme going, the pyramid scheme works. But there's a point where the pyramid scheme stops working, and that's the point where we're reached, where things go bankrupt, and you have to now not allow any bankruptcies, because if you allow any of the bankruptcies, they all go bankrupt. It cascades.
Put to the European Central Bank for reserves to cover paying other banks. Okay, so it's confusing. So you can ask yourself, well, has new money been created? And then I go, this is what I keep telling you. There's no fucking thing as money.
Right, and I'm just saying that, yes, there is, and it's obvious there's such a thing as money. Because it's obvious that you can look at every single country that ever went bankrupt by hyperinflation. Every single country where hyperinflation destroyed the economy, every single one of them, it's because they printed cash. Not because they printed bonds, but because they printed cash. And maybe they printed the problem that caused them to print the cash was the fact that they had borrowed so much money that they couldn't even pay the interest on the bonds, and so they had to print cash just to pay the interest on their loans. But the point is they printed cash. So it works until you print cash. You print cash, that's when it's already stopped working if you have to print cash. But the point is that's when you know it's over.
There is finance. There's all this shenanigans going on.
Exactly. It's shenanigans. So why are you talking about it in terms of its finance? It's some legitimate way to finance a future plan that some asshole should actually propose financing through shenanigans. Why should shenanigans be the plan? Why are you advocating for more shenanigans? We have to unshenanigan. We have to reduce the system. We have to say, look, it's time to just say this game is over. The preposterously rich are totally unnecessary. They're a huge burden to us running around saying they own everything. Fuck all that crap. We'll let you be millionaires, but we're not going to let you be billionaires anymore. We're not going to fuck around with this bullshit anymore. Fuck you. It's well past time to say fuck you. It's bullshit. It's a stupid game. You never did anything to earn ownership of the fucking planet.
Yeah. Are the Amazon token deposits in your bank statement money? Is what the investment bank lend out money?
No, they're debt slips. They're IOUs. Cash is money. Cash can be reliably and dependably converted into absolute value. It's realistically tied to absolute value. Bonds and stocks we have no obligation to pay them off. The sucker who bought them, too bad, sucker.
Are the bonds money? No, it's just finance.
I mean, it's like saying to the American people that we're responsible for every loan the bank makes. So the bank wants to make money, it gives a loan. I've seen it do it. I've seen car companies, they're so desperate, they'll sit there and give a lease agreement to people that they're going to destroy the car in a year. You'll never be able to resell the car. They have almost zero hope of ever paying for it. And they make these idiotic loans because the company is so disorganized that it's the little salesmen are saying, I make money just by making loans. I don't have to worry about any of this shit. I'm not going to have to pay it. I'm the salesman. I don't got to pay the loan. I mean, it doesn't have to be economically sensible. And so they sit there and just watch a completely stupid loan be made, and somehow we, the people, are responsible because the government should somehow guarantee the shenanigans of bankers. Fuck that shit. Fuck assholes who make dumb loans. Fuck an asshole who buys a U.S. bond knowing that, $20 trillion essentially equals the value of every home in the United States. I mean, it's an insane amount of money. It's every home in the United States or something is $20 trillion worth of assets, realistically. And you're gonna somebody who's that mortgaged, you're gonna give them a loan. Well, then you're a fucking fool.
So you can ask yourself, well, has more finance been created? And you go, well, again, it's all very difficult. Because
what's difficult? It's fucking credit card debt. It's just more fucking debt. Debt on top of 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 debt. Debt and guaranteeing debt. Completely insane nonsense. It's all fucking garbage. And it all has to do with the fact that the rich are so insanely rich that this is the way they have to do something with their fucking wealth. And the only way their wealth can make money is they have to find some sucker, to borrow money, to lend money to. They have to find some idiot who can pay rent. Some person who will rent their assets, rent their wealth. And but the very fact that they're lending to something like a bankrupt U.S. government, that's their fault.
Yes, banks have now increased their balance sheet. Banks are on their books worth more.
No, they're all bankrupt because all of their collateral is this rubbish fucking paper that says it's worth $10 million, and in a crisis it's it's only worth one
or something. But you can't say it's money. It's very, very difficult. But let's go right back to where...
Yes, it's not cash. It's not a hard asset. It's a very fluffy asset. So we know that house is a hard asset. We know the ground is a hard asset. We know this pen is even a hard asset. But obviously, if I have a previous a loan agreement with the United States government and I'm $500,000 in debt, then this pen really isn't mine, because in the bankruptcy court they're going to say it belongs to the government. It's your government liability. You borrowed money through mommy government or whatever. They co-signed for your loan, so to speak. You didn't want to pay taxes, so you decided to borrow money to finance government instead of actually paying taxes to finance government. So you evaded taxes by signing an agreement that says, yes, borrow the money. So in a sense, you did do it, and you're liable for it. So what you think you own, this pen, your desk, your carpet, you don't own any of it.
We started. And if down the pub you want to talk about this sort of thing and where's the money going...
So this is where he insults everybody else in the universe by saying it's all pub talk, that you don't really understand how it really works, and you're not smart enough to understand high finance and how somehow this bullshit can unravel in some other way than bang into a brick wall. It doesn't unravel, and it isn't sustainable. The curves are unsustainable, and there's no way to fix it. There's no way to make it all okay. There's no way to pay off the debt. So you're stuck with it permanently. And it's too high a liability in the sense that it sucks up too much interest money. So it just drives the engine into too slow a speed and it grinds to a halt. There's no way for this to work. He's talking as if this can work. It can't fucking work. It's broken in the blueprint.
Come from. Just ask the question to know what you're dealing with. Are you going to do the taxes sort of thing, recirculate monies that are already existing, or are you somehow going to use finance to create new monies to pay for the UBI?
And again, you're not creating any new money. You're creating a new obligation to pay a rich man. So what the fuck? And his other choice is doing the same thing. You're just borrowing or borrowing. They don't finance anything. And again, if you financed anything as dumb as welfare, in the sense that you just decided that let's really pay for it, it has to come out of somebody's pocket then. Somebody's life has to be diminished now, not 500 years from now. Again, we're just making promises to put somebody else in a gulag. What debt is basically, especially the insane debt of the United States government. That debt has no other function than to say, we're basically saying, yes, put future people in a gulag to pay it back. There's no other way it could be paid back. People would have to be in a gulag to pay it back. There's no other way for it to happen. So you're just saying, yes, I'll give you license to go make slaves and make them make the value, because I'm not going to give you any value. It's just such bullshit. I want, but I will give you no value to have now. Okay, I'll just make promises that you can put my kids in chains. It's so fucking stupid.
What I think has to happen is new monies have to be created for any sort of UBI.
No, there's no new monies. There's value, and then there's transaction currency. Value and transaction currency. So there's real assets and there's real transaction currency. Okay, that is in limited supply. Everything else is bullshit. Everything else.
Because there is not enough. Because this is a desperation move. There won't be enough.
Look, you can think of it going back to this whole barter system, right? If we had a barter system where we had to exchange real value. And the only thing cash does is create a reliable mechanism for saying I don't have to carry the 10 sheep to the bargaining table and put them on the table, and then you put your 10 cows on the table and blah, 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 blah. It's just saying, look, let's just make the exchange in these reliable notes that say this is worth 10 sheep and this is worth 10 cows. Okay, and then we don't have to actually exchange the barter. We don't have to actually exchange, here's some grain and you give me some salt. And no, we can eliminate all the the cumbersomeness of actually exchanging. Well, here's my house, I'll deliver it to your house, and then you deliver, whatever, your daughters to me, and whatever you're exchanging, right? So in a barter, it's a barter system, and you know that barter systems would work a lot better if you had this currency thing that reliably and dependably equaled value. So, and the currency is solid. There's only $1.8 trillion of fucking printed money. So they've been responsible enough, they've been smart enough to know they can't print the cash. So the basic system is intact. And the only thing that makes it unintact is these preposterous IOUs, okay, written to not only by people that have no capacity to pay it back and accepted as, well, that's as good as cash. No, the IOU from Joe Poor Welfare Whore Slut Man, okay, that asshole's IOU isn't worth shit.
People to make enough promises to make enough money appear on this side to make enough money to pay out.
Right, there's no appearing on a side. As pointed out by the bank failure, okay, in 2008 and 11, as pointed out, they thought they had rational books, but yes, when something goes bankrupt and all of a sudden it's the thing they hold, well, then they're not fucking liquid. Their collateral is all made out of the shit money. It's not made out of cash or actual assets. They don't own anything. They don't own Google, and they don't own a house, and they don't own land. They own a bunch of fucking pieces of crap paper. So their assets are suck.
On the UBI, you're going to need creative finance, not just taxing rich people all the time.
Oh, fuck. Not just taxing the poor rich. The poor rich can't handle it. It's just he's just such a cunt in terms of, I don't even think he believes this nonsense. But this whole idea that somehow you can finance something rationally by paying interest in itself is so fucking stupid. That somehow you would even suggest to somebody, don't go out and earn the money, as he did in his life. Earn it, put it in the bank, okay? Earn money, put it in the bank, don't pay taxes, put the money in the bank, and then buy yourself a retirement. So he doesn't even take his own fucking advice. He probably never in his life bought anything on time. He probably never sat there and said, oh yeah, I'll buy my car by paying a loan off and pay twice as much for the car. I bet he never did that in his fucking life. And yet he's suggesting to the rest of the world, yeah, this is what you need. You need high finance. You need to make a whole bunch of bullshit fucking promises and loans and bullshit, so you end up paying 4 times as much for it, or 10 times as much for it, or fucking 500,000 times much for it, and you're paying it to some scummy rich person to boot. I mean, he's just so full of shit. He wouldn't pay the rich 10 fucking goddamn cents. If he could avoid paying a rich man 10 cents, he would do it. And yet he's advocating for a system where the rest of us should sit there and be slaves to them. Fucking cunt.
Land or something like that. Because that's, if you'd like, this is dealing with a finite resource. What we need here is magic monies.
So what he, like he said, what is he even pointing it out for? Why is he even saying this? What is this, satire or something? Are you being a comic? Are you just being a comic now? What we need now is magic monies? Woo-woo religion? What are you selling, you fucking lunatic? What is this actually, like I said, you're doing a shtick? You want to go like, on the circuit and, as a stand-up comic? Selling what the world needs is more religion and more rich people financed by insanely stupid decisions idiots make thinking there's free money.
and it's the finance people that can do the magic monies, not the taxing and spending peoples. Okay?
Again, why would he? Again, he would never live this way. He would never live his own life with a fucking credit. Let me see your credit card fucking bill. Let me see how much debt you have, you fucking lying cunt. This is such a crock of shit.
Hopefully that gives you some grist for your thinking, Mills. Bye.
Ugh, fucking duplicitous bullshit. Like again, this reduces to a simple equation. Okay, there's working people who make productivity. There's insanely rich people who inherit goddamn ownership and are pompous cunts like Trump. Okay, there's nice, good, productive people. There's shitty, scummy people. Welfare people are scummy people, especially when they think they're entitled. If they're not coming, they're begging a little bit, with their head down, admitting they suck. Okay, when they ask for the goddamn handout. If they can't even admit they suck, which they can't, they think they're entitled to be fat and lazy and smiley and happy and have 10 fucking kids. They think they're entitled to all this bullshit. The fucking rich think they're fucking entitled. And they're both of them just screwing the fucking working man to pieces. This isn't that fucking complicated. There's productive people and completely suck-ass fucking assholes who fucking just suck value. And they do it in this excessive, insane manner. Give me free $1 million health care. Take care of my every fucking need, even though I've produced absolutely no value into the world. So yes, the scummy rich, the scummy poor suck. That's the simple fucking truth. And they both should have a fucking sense of responsibility to the thing called civilization, to tone down their fucking goddamn insane gluttony. Enough of video. I believe I have completed my task here. Until the next time and such. But again, just think of it as a barter system. Barter system made really great if you have currency that has absolute value. You don't print the currency, you have a certain limited amount. It equals real sheep, it equals real stuff, sheep, buildings, barns, you can make real trades. That all works. The IOUs, that doesn't fucking work. Don't do it. Get out of this IOU economy. Fuck.